Alright, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry, looking a little rough. I had a rough night last night. I know I mentioned a little bit about the animal thing, and it's really coming to head. I got family coming to visit next weekend, and I had to leave my dogs in South Carolina, and I had left them with my sister-in-law, but she ended up not being able to handle them. She had to give them away, so I had to mention it to my son yesterday, because I didn't want him to go down there this summer to visit, thinking he was going to be able to see his old animals when he's not going to be able to. And his sister has known that they've been gone for a while. My son's autistic, so we try to be easy about when we tell him things, because he is a very emotional creature. For his reputation in his old town, which is one of the reasons I love that I did let them move up here, is his life is so much easier up here, and the kids at his school are a lot kinder than the kids at his old school were towards his conditions. He is an emotional creature, and he's very, very sensitive. He's very, very sweet. But he had a reputation of having an attitude, because people would literally poke and prod him until he would get upset, and then he would get in trouble for being upset. It was really an emotionally abusive situation down there with the bullies. It's really why I'm against the zero tolerance bullying thing. I'm really, really against it, because essentially the zero tolerance policies in schools protects bullies. 143. That seems to be a major trend, is the more of a bully you are, the more rights you have, the more protected you are. It's very, very weird going on right now. But it used to be, if you got into an argument with another child, whoever swung first would get in the most trouble, or would be the only one to get in trouble, really. Those were the rules that I grew up with in the 80s and the 90s. And then when they switched to the zero tolerance, so even if a bully walked up to you and punched you in the face, and you physically, which is a right in most modern countries, that if someone attacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. We've literally now, you wonder why these kids are so sensitive now, and why they feel so defenseless, and it's because they fucking are. You literally took away the one thing that kids used to have a free pass on. Kids should be allowed to fight and stuff like that and defend themselves. And you took that right away from them at such a young age, and brainwashed them that no matter what happens, you'll get in trouble. If you defend yourself, you get in. So it's like, you have to take an ass beating. And even then, you could still get in trouble. I've had nephews where we've gone up to the school and been like, these kids hit him, and why is he suspended? Oh, because we have to suspend both parties. So, and then my brother-in-law looked at the principal, he goes, oh, bet. From now on, my kids swing back. When my kids beat the shit out of another kid, and you call me up here to tell me why my kid beat the shit out of another kid, I'm going to tell them they were going to be suspended whether they defended themselves or not. So they might as well have just defended themselves. So that's my only advice for these zero tolerance nonsense, right? And I for real told my son that, and that was the last time them kids messed with him. They pushed him in the school line down there. They pushed his backpack, would push him into another kid. That kid turned around and started swinging on my son, and my son clocked him in the fucking face. And they stopped messing with him after that. And that used to be how you dealt with bullies. That used to be how you dealt with bullies. I mean, I was a military brat. I moved schools all the time. Every school I went to, there was a bully. Every school I went to, there was a bully. The bully would bully me. It would usually take months for it to finally build up. And then finally it would come down to a call out, to a fight. I'd beat their ass. And then that kid was no longer a bully. Not only to me, but no longer a bully to anybody in our class, because it is an important part of child development of rough and tumble play. And that's how bullies learn not to be bullies. Now, when the bullies have super protection and they're allowed to just be horrible little shit shows with no consequences for the first 12 years of school, then you end up with these adults that have no rationale, that think that they can just act a fucking fool with no repercussions. Then they get out into the real world, and they don't know how to navigate themselves. It's why these kids are so miserable. Not the tangent I thought I was going to go on this morning, but it's definitely one that's come out for me. You know, you wonder why these parents want to start homeschooling these kids, and it's because shit's just really ridiculous. It's just really, really ridiculous. All right. We've got Sagittarius going on today. We have got Venus, and we have got 10. We've got the completion of a cycle. I love Guns N' Roses, and I do love Take Me to the Jungle. I just hate that sexualized moaning the dude does in it. Right? Thought it was a little unnecessary. Especially when you listen to that song and you're babysitting a 6-year-old, and that's the only part of the song that they remember and like to emulate in public in the middle of a grocery store. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. You're like, can you please? Can you please? I understand that your little child mind recognizes that this is getting a funny-ass reaction from all these adults, but please. It's like when a kid cusses and people laugh, and you're like, oh no. Oh no. What? Now they're going to think they're funny because they did that, and they're going to just keep doing it over and over again. Kids are such funny creatures. I love them to death. Really, really do. Most innocent things on the planet, right? We got a male here, a masculine. We got someone who's making waves here. They're starting to follow their divine intuition here. There's definitely some phases, secrets, something that's been coming out that is making this person make a decision at this big crossroad here about a romance, right? Someone wants to take flight. Someone wants to take flight. Should we do a fairy tale to start out today? I'm feeling fairy tales. Clover. I love the Clover card. The Clover card is a lot about Thumbelina. It's about how she's had to make her own luck and make her own way, and like through her own acts of kindness is how she made her way through. Like how she escaped the mole was helping that sparrow, right? And she didn't help that sparrow with the expectation of being helped. It just ended up helping her down the road. Like just acting from the kindness of her heart as what led her to being helped. You know what I'm saying? Just moving from the kindness of her heart helped her create her own luck. And at this point in the story, she's like laying in this burrow, right? She still hasn't found the Veil of the Fairies. She still hasn't found the prince. She still hasn't, you know, who she doesn't even know is the prince yet, right? Just the only other little person she knows. Of course, I'm going off the Disney rendering of Thumbelina. They're much nicer. We can always get into the darker sides of these tales because they were grim back in the day. I remember I got my nephew when he was like, he liked to read, so I don't know, when he was like 12, I got him the original storybook of Hans Christian Andersen tales. And after he read the first one, he came back to me, he goes, I don't know if I like these fairy tales. And I was like, why? He goes, they cut off this guy's head. They decapitate. He never heard the word decapitation before. Oh man, I'm a weird influence for sure. People in my life, a strange person. Forgetting oneself, right? Oh, here we go. Forgetting oneself. This card also comes with a lot of losing time by forgetting yourself, by forgetting your mission, right? This card talks about the Lotus Den of Greek mythology. Yeah, I think it's either Greek or Roman. I get them mixed up all the time. Of Greek mythology, where if someone enters the Lotus Den and they eat the lotus flowers from the nymphs, it's very fairy tale-esque, right? From the land of the fairy tales. We step in a fairy portal, you'll disappear for years, things like that. And it's the energy for sure of someone disappear, like losing themselves and losing time. Forgetting who they are, forgetting what their mission is. And that is the point of the Lotus Den. That is the point. It's supposed to make you forget. We got spring equinox again. something really, really is being reborn with this spring energy. Something that's been something triggered by this Mercury retrograde. There's something coming out of the surface. I'm going to talk about Mercury retrograde does that pulling back energy, that slowing down energy, right? That, yeah, where you had like kind of feeling like you had to break free. Fly you to the moon and back. Definitely somebody who wants to come into communication. There's definitely been some sort of illusions here about the divine feminine. Illusions, delusions. The Seven of Cups is always the illusions and delusions card for me, right? And it can be the card of someone who like has unrealistic expectations, right? Like they want to be in a poly relationship and they want a bunch of girlfriends, and or they, you know, they want some sort of creepy lifestyle where they're like they're running a house of OnlyFans girls and they just live in heaven there, or you know, they think that they could date a bunch of women and never get caught, right? I always get that sipping from every cup gets you poisoned energy. But for the most part, it's illusions and delusions. And this, I really feel like it was down to one person, right? Someone had just unrealistic expectations of somebody who was essentially a human, right? It doesn't matter how much someone is connected to the divine, right? They're still going to be restricted by their human mind. They're still going to be restricted by their human body. They're still going to be human. They won't be perfect, right? They're not going to wake up looking gorgeous every day, right? Some days they're going to have big old puffy eyes. Some nights they're going to cry. You're not going to understand why they're crying. Set this deck so many times, it still does so many reversals. On the 3D, something very weird here. I got 10-10, I got the 10 of Wands, I got the 10 of Swords, ruined, but they're reversed. I got the Fool card, once again, reversed. But I got the Queen of Wands upright. Now, there's a lot going on with this Queen of Wands. I'm really getting the masculine stuck on this. There's really this energy of someone's working on putting down burden. Someone's working on coming out of this energy, coming out of this, I would say drama queen card, drama king card, right? There's definitely a fool that is not taking a leap of faith, right? There's definitely a high focus on this Queen of Wands, right? This very fiery, alluring individual here with her I don't know, leopard here, right? But then we got this works reversed. Something's not being worked on. Someone's not putting any effort in on the 3D. And this is where I'm getting this masculine and this numbing energy of forgetting purpose, wanting to forget, numbing themselves so they forget, not wanting to think about it, not wanting to acknowledge it, right? The cards reverse doesn't mean you've overcome them. The cards reverse means that pretty much that you're not even acknowledging them. This person's not acknowledging how they're carrying a bunch of burdens that are not theirs, how they're wallowing in self-victimhood, how they're stopping themselves from evolving, from taking this leap. There's a lot of focus on this. Queen of Wands, her energy just pops out so strong as the only upright, fiery energy, right? I get the energy of like she wants to light a fire under people's asses for sure. But there's some energy of not wanting to work on stuff, like because they're afraid they won't be perfect, right? So maybe that Seven of Cups isn't even that. Maybe that Seven of Cups is this person doesn't feel good enough. Like they felt like they put out an illusion, and if that illusion gets shattered, they don't want anybody to know how not perfect they are. Something coming into balance here. There's definitely something coming into balance here, right? And the Queen of Wands, for all her fire, for all her everything else, like she is a very passion-based creature, right? Up here, the wands are all about magic, right? They're a magical creature. They see things that others might not see. They're very passionate about it, right? When they see someone being wrong, like I said, the Queen of Wands, right? That is 110% my energy, right? I'm a triple fire sign. I'm you guys know, an Aries sun, a Leo rising, and a Sagittarian moon, right? And it's just this energy of, of my words may burn you, but they are from a heart-based center. They are from a passionate center. They are from love, really, is where the magic comes from. And it's just an energy, I think, that this person might, whatever you said, somebody's numbing themselves to this energy, right? On the 4D, what's on this person's mind is they want to make this fool's leap. They don't see you as really the Queen of Fire. They see you as the Queen of Pentacles, right? Right? They don't... I get that they see this person, right? I like how... I'm trying to set this up so that I don't get in trouble here. Right? See how she's in the mirror? And he's not even in the mirror. He's all the way down here, like, kissing her feet. Right? It's this energy of... I feel like this person... And it's right over that Seven of Cups. And that's really what I'm getting. They don't feel good enough for the Divine Feminine. They do not feel good enough for her, right? So they engage in this type of behavior with other people, right? And it causes a lot of conflict. They cause a lot of conflict because they do want to take a journey, right? Deep down, the reason, and this is why they have to numb themselves to it. That's the point of numbing yourself, of engaging in these behaviors that you know are just going to cause conflict in the end. You know it's just going to cause trouble in the end. But you're numbing yourself to it because you know deep down the universe is calling you to take a step towards a new journey, right? Got this other Ten of Pentacles here, and once again, it's this almost worship energy of the Divine Feminine here. Right? What's causing a Tower for this person, and another reason that they're numbing themselves greatly, is because they are so worried about someone else getting with the Divine Feminine. This is the Tower. This is the Tower, what's happening in this person's minds. What, and I get that, yeah, this is all the way across. Who's worshiping you? Who's at your altar is what this person's worried about. And this is what's driving this person nuts. And this is why this person keeps numbing themselves. And this is the overburdening. And this is the victim mode. And that's why they were reversed. Because I don't think the Divine Feminine's doing anything. I think she's just being a Divine Feminine, right? But this person is so worried that someone else is going to sneak up and take you. Or someone else is giving you this energy. They might not be able to feel your energy right now, and it's because because they're numbing and ignoring and not acknowledging. And it's like, well, if you're not going to acknowledge the connection, I'm not going to play this fucking make-believe game with you anymore. I'm not going to play this make-believe 5D game with you. I'm not going to stay on these 4D connections. We're not going to keep having these telepathic bullshit that keeps me all entangled in this connection while you act like it doesn't exist and fuck around with other people. Right? And then that's the thing. And that's what gets to them. It's because they're the ones that are lustful. They're the ones that are using people. They're the ones that know they're being used. They know that they're stuck. It's a subconscious thing, but they know that they're sticking themselves in these situations. And it's like, you think the tower is going to be this person finding someone else, and it's like, really the tower is the fact that you keep going for who you know is not going to work out, right? This person's purposely picking people that they can easily detach themselves from, because they're not looking for forever, right? So they find people that they know that they'll be able to easily detach themselves for. I got the Page of Swords, right? This is so funny. I got the energy of the Page of Swords. This person really wants to come in and kiss your ass. Like, quite literally. This person can be very fond of your butt. They're very intimidated. They're very intimidated by the divine feminine, right? They feel very childish here. We get the Seven of Cups followed by two pages, Page of Wands, Page of Swords here, right? Right, there's a lot of wanting to communicate, and then some immaturity about communicating, right? Get this balance coming in again. Remember, that was the bottom card down there. There definitely is some justice, some balance that is coming out. And what do I say about that balance card all the time? Especially when it's in this deck. Look at the other cards on the bottom here. What's she do? You crazy? There she is. Put the other reading at the bottom of it. Right? It's all about following that heart-based center. This divine feminine moves from a heart-based center. You might not like what she has to say, but the reason she's saying it is from a heart-based center. It's like, what? I can see the irreparable damage waving out from what you're fucking doing. It's like the divine feminine's intuition, whereas a masculine's intuition is a lot about self-preservation, and that's just kind of how they're really ingrained. Like, in hunter-gatherer cultures, it was more the men that went out with the weapons because they were stronger, they were faster, they were just in general better built for hunting, where the women were more the gatherers, right? And they were more in tune to knowledge, like, of herbs, of healing, right? That's how gossip came into play, right? The women would get together and discuss things. What would they discuss? How to cook this, how to cook that, how to make this taste better, how these berries are good, these berries are poisonous. This berry, you know, my kid was burning up and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with them. They were sick, and then I made this in their soup and suddenly they got better, right? That's the knowledge that the women were passing around, right? And the men were bringing in the meat and stuff like that. So the intuition of the divine feminine, it's the ripple effects that we see. That's what we tune into. That's why we're so protective of children, right? That's why we get so defensive about certain things. And it's like, because whereas the masculine, love them, but ambition and ego is one of the major things that they will always have to contend with, because it is such a necessary, vital thing for a masculine, right? To have that. They wouldn't accomplish anything in life without an ego or ambition. Nobody would. Right? Everybody has to have it. It's a thing you have to have, right? But in this case, it's like this woman is very fiery, very energy. She can burn people with her tongue. But like I said, it's all out of genuine heart-based center. It's like, I'm not saying these things to hurt your feelings. And I don't know why this is important, but it's like pointing out how you're hurting someone else's feelings. Right? You're sitting here and you're saying you're hurting someone else's feelings. And then the other person goes, oh, you hurt my feelings by telling me that I hurt other people's feelings. It's like, bitch, get yourself together. I just told you hurt 10 people's feelings, and you're just obsessed with the fact that I'm pointing out that you're not perfect is hurting your feelings. So your feelings matter more than everybody else's feelings. That's the kind of shit that the divine feminine says, that this fiery one does anyway. There's a lot about communication here. The Ten of Pentacles down there too before, right? There's definitely a lot about communication and holding on to some sort of communication. Someone's getting the strength up to say something. There is great fortune getting ready to come in for somebody. Ten of Pentacles, there's a great fortune, and this has been coming up a lot. This has been coming up a lot about money, a sudden influx of money from somewhere. Whenever I get it, though, I will say I do get the fact that whatever this is some sort of quote-unquote windfall. It is a sudden increase in assets, but it's not a stable increase of assets. So whatever is about to come in, if you get some sort of windfall, just be mindful not to be mindful of what you do with it. Don't blow through it. Or if you do, make sure that you're investing in something important. Four of Cups, the Sun, the Hermit card. Someone is addicted to this connection, right? They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit how much they are in love with this connection, right? There's that crying, right? I get that watching from behind, right? Someone's addicted to watching somebody, right? They're about to come out into the sun about something. Somebody's been enlightened. They've been in a hermit mode and they've enlightened themselves. Page of Cups, Ace of Swords. Someone realizes that they have to. There's a humbling energy here with the Page of Cups, right? They have to listen to their heart-based center, and it's like that's where your victory lies. Your victory lies in listening to your own heart, not over-logicking yourself out of what your heart wants. Point blank, period. People try to do that all the time. Be like, what? Oh, well, I don't really, because I watched a bunch of videos in the manosphere and it said that men don't have to be monogamous, but women should be, and I should be allowed to have all this other stuff, and I would be happier if I had a bunch of hoes than a regular traditional housewife. And they're just like browbeaten over your head by the masculine society of think with your dick, think with your dick, think with your dick, right? And the energy of this is, it's like, what, dude, when you humble yourself to the universe and you find a fucking divine partner, right? That's where your victories lie. Boom. Who brings it? Who brings it? I used to laugh and say all the time, it's like, you know, people would always accuse me when I would cut them off from my friendships, or I wouldn't hang out with them anymore, or if I broke up with somebody. They would blame me. I ruined their life. Like, I ruined their life. Like, one of my exes, one of my favorite stories he used to tell me is, it was his baby mama ruined his life because when she broke up with him, he went out and he got wasted, and then they called him into work the night. It was like a Friday night or whatever, and he went out and he got wasted. And then they called him into work the next day, and he went to work, and he was still drunk from the night before, and he ended up getting fired because he was drunk at work. And I mean, it turns out the man was a raging alcoholic. Like, literally every fucking story he has is this one time I was drinking. Like, there's no story that he has that he's not drinking in, and every childhood story he has starts with, I didn't even drink back then, but this one night I was drinking. Like, it's his whole fucking existence. But that's that Ten of Swords energy, right? It's their whole fucking existence of self-sabotage that ruins their shit, and then they want to blame everybody else for it. Oh man, look at me. I'm such a messy bitch today. I forgot to make my bed. But they would always like to blame the High Priestess, and it's like, no, your life was better, and your life was easier, and your life was more blessed because I was there operating in a heart-based center for you. I was there casting my own energy. And the High Priestess works kind of like, you know, I always say Bella, right? She pushes out her energy, and, you know, who's around her and who she cares about, she can push out her energy, and she can block them from attack and stuff like that. So I get this kind of image of like Bella being able to protect this person from the pain that was around them. But then as soon as she's removed from the equation, that pain comes back, and it's like, yeah, well, I'm not cursing you. That pain isn't me sending you negative ill. Well, my pain is just, what, I'm not blessing you anymore. That make any sense to anybody? As sad as you feel is a loss of connection. King of Cups, King of Swords today. I like how they're looking away from each other, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about just a minute ago, right? Where the heart is looking one way and the logic and knowledge is looking the other, right? I like how the King of Cups has the Five of Wands, right? The King of Swords is looking in the wrong direction because he's listening to the wrong fucking people. What? It's people... The King of Cups has the Seven of Coins. So the heart-based energy has this reaping what you sow by wasting fucking time energy over here, right? You're in all this pain. Oh, tear. oh tear, right? Your heart hurts. Well, it's because you decided to look away. Because you decided to listen to these petty bitches who offered you all this false shit. I don't know why I get false prophets. Yeah. There's definitely a shit ton of those out there right now, aren't there? False fucking prophets promising you the promised land, right? That Seven of Cups delusional fucking energy, right? That everybody's gonna be famous. You can all be TikTok stars. You could all be millionaires. You should start an OnlyFans when you turn 18. You should convince your daughter to make an OnlyFans when she turns 18. And then she can make everybody rich by making millions. That's right. You should sell your kid's soul to get ahead. No. No. That's Five of Wands energy. That's what? That's people who want other people in hell with them. What? I'm in hell and I hate the decisions that I have made. And I'm going to pretend like I'm happy here so I can trick other people into staying here with me, right? And the universe is asking you to pick a fucking direction because you are running out of time to follow your heart-based center. So if you're going to follow these fuckers into the pits of hell, then go ahead and follow them into the pits of hell. But the universe is giving you this this is the last major arcana. The universe is giving you one last chance to man up and grab the tiger by the tail, put the fucking bull back in the barn, follow the eagle. You know what I'm saying? The universe is giving you a freaking opportunity here. What are you going to decide here? Nine of Swords on the bottom. This is blinded. Look at that. The scratches over the eyes. Out in the cold. Knight of Coins, Knight of Cups. This person's out of the cold. You got Knight of Coins here, so there's some opportunities coming into play, but this person is stalling. You got these Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups, right? I like how the Knight of Cups is looking towards the Eight of Cups here too, and there's that bird again. But it's almost like, yeah, it's like you need to move away from these energies. Like, for real. That's all there is to it, right? And people who hurt you, who make you wake up looking like this, because you still can't, you know, you can't heal surrounded by the people who abused you. It's an Emperor, right? You want to get 3 steps ahead. You have to release this Five of Cups. You have to let it go. You have to let it go. That is the truth of it all. Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. Yeah, these conflicts keep you in prison. Three of Wands. The universe is the universe. Hello. Hello? The universe is desperately trying to get your fucking attention. 3322. If the universe were to hand you a magic fucking wand right now, what would you create? Because that is where your fate and your fortune is. And that is literally what the universe is doing right now. Oh, I'm just like, I'm getting so excited, right? What? We've given you a magic wand. Gave you a magic wand. We're telling you, and look, the horseshoe upright, all that. Good luck, good jujus, good love, good energy, right? Oh, every rose does have its thorns, but here we go, right? What do you really want? What is the universe really pulling you for, right? Mr. Magician, you have the opportunity to create whatever you want. Victory is promised to you if you operate in your genuine energy, right? Find some fucking balance. 10 of Cups, 2 of Coins, 7 of Swords, the Hangman, right? Someone knows. Someone knows what their 10 of Cups is, right? Someone knows what their ideal, perfect life is like, right? Where that balance is in light and darkness, right? They know this. There's definitely been some deceptions, lying to themselves, deceptive energy here. This person has been put into a hangman situation, like the roses with their thorns there on either side, right? This person has been put into this hangman situation. You have been a martyr long enough. You have been a martyr long enough. The only thing that you're lying to yourself is that you somehow still owe karmic debts. You don't owe anybody anything anymore, boo-boo. That is what all this has been about. All of this, for a long time now. Since the original first waivers, volunteers got here back in the 70s and had their, and the same thing happened back then. I've had this conversation with other people. What ruined it? It's always what ruins it. Have no doubt that people are paid to come in and act extreme in order to ruin things. Case in point, back in the day, free love, the hippie movement, the movement of moving out of cities and into communes and creating your own peaceful, self-sustaining, homesteading communities. What got that shot down was overprivileged men. Sorry to say this to you guys, but this is what ruined it. They came in to these communities. They're usually the ones that end up having the money to back these hippie communities. But it got put on the females of these communities in the name of free love. You had to fuck anybody who wanted to fuck you. And that is what dissolved and ruined it. It ruined nuclear families. It destroyed everything within these communities. And that's why next to none of them survived. And the ones that did became cults. And have no doubt that those things are funded to stop stuff like that happening. How do we stop a movement? Well, we praise and raise up these most ridiculous icons in the name of this whatever movement, and as long as we just get more and more extreme with them, and we gloat them and we put them on and it's the same as like when they talk about politics, where people hire protesters to go someplace, like I forget who the violent ones are, right? That come in and then they it was a peaceful protest, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people, like 10 people in like all black with backpacks full of bricks, come in and start smashing windows and tearing up cars and get the crowd all riled up. So now the crowd goes from this really peaceful protest into this outlandish thing, and then now the government can come in and go, See how terrible it was. We warned you this was a slippery slope. We warned you not to follow these people. Now you must come back to us. That is exactly what's been happening. And when I talk about fractal patternings, this is the pattern that happens everywhere. It happens in big government, and it spirals down into your ordinary lives, right? Three of Swords, Ace of Cups, Six of Cups. Someone here loves hard. When they do love hard, they form very strong connections. You could have someone who's very connected to people from their past. Someone who definitely causes third-party situations. Like I said, a peaceful thing is happening. Someone's getting ready to move to, like I said, move to paradise. I want to move to paradise. Here comes this toxic person. I want to go to paradise with you. And then when they get to paradise, they fuck it all up for everybody. Yeah, I get the energy of this person really needs to focus on cutting out, right? There's understanding and knowledge that needs to be used here in order to make better decisions for yourself. Seven of Wands. Someone is really being called as to what you believe. What do you really believe? What really are your core values? What really are your core values? Someone's wish fulfillment is this Two of Cups soul connection. They definitely want to establish some sort of firm union with this. I see, that's an opportunity. Somebody wants to come in and gift this Queen of Coins here, right? They want to treat her like a Queen of Coins, right? That worship her feet type of energy, right? And it's rough because it's I get an ego death. there's an ego death, right? And this person, this masculine was probably very much in a masculine energy for a while, and when they fall into some of these toxic groups, it's like they beat down the females so bad, and this person's like, no, I want to, you know, part of me really wants to, you know, like, help the feminines, like, what, like, I don't know, like, well, I kind of like feet, like, you know, like, as weird as this sounds, but it's like, you know, not all men come in to want to destroy a female, right? Not all men are that creepy perv. There was, I'm sure, plenty of genuine people who did very nice things and kind things, and they got overshadowed by darkness. That's kind of the problem, right? That's kind of the problem. And we say that all the time in the light working community. The more light you shine, the darker the shadows around you get. And there's no way to operate without the two. There's light matter and dark matter. It just is what it is. But there's definitely an ego death here, a death of some sort of energy here going on. Three of Cups. There is a lot of celebration to be had, right? With this Three of Cups, a lot of celebration to be had, right? There's a King of Wands. The masculine is coming into their own quote-unquote magical energy, right? They're trying to find a balance here. Didn't love you. Didn't as I should have. You are always on my mind. Secretly, you are always on their mind. This is a rite of passage. This is it. What? The earth, and I'm a firm believer, man. The earth is a school, right? People are like, it's hell, it's the demonism. Well, what did you sound like when you were in school? The earth is a school. You get sent here to be schooled, right? And the problem with the school right now, and the reason that we need help and a little bit of overhaul over here at the school, is because bullies have been left to run amok. Someone needs to make a major decision here, right? That is it. It's the decision. It's the decision that is causing a lot of mental anguish on this person. They're working on it. They are working on it, right? They are working on enlightenment. I love this card, right? They are working on enlightenment. I love this deck. This is a great deck. This is the Tattoo Tarot. If you guys were wondering which one it is. I like it. I like it especially because the boobies are all covered up, right? You gotta cover the nips or else I'll get kicked off. Sorry. We got the Lovers here. The Ace of Coins, right? I got you are royalty. You are divine fucking royalty. Like, people are so humble with themselves. It's like, you know, I know ego, death, and da-da-da-da-da, but like, that is the point of the whole twin flame thing, right? It's the union is so important, right? It's divine collaboration for the greater good of something, right? Right? And the universe is divinely guiding somebody, right, towards their divine counterpart, leading the emperor to the empress, right? The emperor just doesn't feel, and I like how she's looking at him. She don't understand. She don't understand. Oh, I'm about to dork out on you guys for a second. Aragon, Lord of the Rings. And when Aragorn's just like, I don't understand. You're meant to be the king. You're supposed to be the king. There's been a steward in your place and they're not defending the kingdom. They're gonna let it all fall and let it all burn, and they don't want to acknowledge that anything bad is happening, right? That we need you to take the journey back into your rightful place. Yeah, you're surrounded by devil connections, right? You need to get distance from them, right? Yeah, it's a tower. It's a tower, and it's going to come down to what? You standing your moral grounds. You being a person to... You earning the right through moving through moral fortitude and a heart-based center. You earn the fucking right to be looked up to. That is not something you buy. That is not something that comes in a certificate. That is not something that you can get through fame or anything else. You don't get respect unless you move in a way that says you deserve respect. Just point blank, period. There is an opportunity coming for this person to work on this situation, but this person needs, yeah, the burdens that they carry. So there's an opportunity getting ready to come in. It's not quite there yet. It's definitely on this Three of Coins, right? It's definitely towards building a new foundation from whatever towers are happening here, right? And I get that this tower happened. There was just so much pressure. It popped, right? That's the Ten of Wands is energy. It's tension. It's like all this weaved in tension, right? Everything's pushing and pulling and bending and twisting each other and holding it all together to create this sense of defensiveness, right? And it's kind of like, I always use the popsicle stick thing where you can make the popsicle stick chain, and then when you let it go, it goes, and all the popsicle sticks finally come apart. That's the kind of tower that's happening here. Four of Coins, Three of Coins to Four of Coins. Now this person is building a solid foundation. This person is casting some pretty righteous judgment right now about their lives. And like I said, in this deck, the Divine Masculine is the one being kind of honored here, right? They're all smiling in this deck, right? And he's so humble about it. He's like, me? It's very sweet. Yeah, bitch. Yes, you. Yes, you. What? Are you a king? Right? The universe is just like, this is beyond, right? In this deck, it's like knows opportunity, has opportunity. The King of Pentacles is opportunity, right? You are it. Like, you're so confused. It's like the universe handed you a magic wand. This is so cute. The universe, and what's giving you so much anxiety, right? It's like, 'cause you want to make a wish. What do you want to make a wish for? What have you been enlightened about? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Because you can have it. You can have it, Bastion. Do my never-ending story here. Right? What is the universe asking for you to do? Say my name, Bastion. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. Get a moon card. And then I'm done. This is a long one today. Get a moon card. What do we got going on here, Luna? Ooh. Sorry, my bad. We have got the moon hare. Or the hare. I wish I would put it the other way. The hare moon. Right, I like this because this is the second time the rabbit's coming up to. It's a very fertile energy here. Like I said, what you can have whatever you want. It's gardening season. What do you want to plant? What do you want? Do you want tomatoes? Do you want peppers? Do you want green beans? Do you want asparagus? Do you want eggplants? What do you want? You can have anything you want. It takes nothing but going to the store and buying a 50-cent pack of seeds, and then you can have as much as you want all season long. The moon hare, keywords, fertility, transcendence, and rebirth. The moon hare is a symbol of fertility and renewal. It is a time of regeneration and rebirth. This card could indicate the fertility of a growing family with children or grandchildren on the horizon. Alternatively, it could mean that you are entering a great time of creativity and fertility when your imagination is fired up in new projects and ideas. Follow these ideas and see where they take you. The magical moon hare is also a symbol of abundance. So it could be that a period of creativity leads to a lucrative opportunity in the past. In the past, it was said that witches could transform into hares in order to escape persecutors and as As a shape-shifting creature, the moon here symbolizes some kind of self-transformation or transcendence. It is a dynamic card that suggests swift movement, so expect sudden changes to plans and be prepared to go with the flow. You know, it's so funny. And here we go, a little bit more of my nerddom here. I just said, what do you got to say, Looney Luna? And the hair card came out. I'm pretty sure in Harry Potter, Luna's Patronus is the hair. I don't know who that's for. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love you so much. I'm back as soon as I can. I promise.